Content warning. The Adventures in HellwQrld podcast talks in depth about QAnon, which means we have to talk about all kinds of child abuse and violence against people. Listener discretion advised.
Hello, everybody. I am Mike Rains, a.k.a. Poker and Politics, and welcome to another episode of Adventures in HellwQrld. This week, I am joined, as always, by Haley, a.k.a. Arizona Right Watch.
Hello, everybody. Things are going very smooth on our end. No technical difficulties here. Everything is on time and great.
Yes, I am not editing all the bumps in post-production. Going to have to put in pauses for us in between segments because Riverside is working perfectly. Elle is on vacation this week, so we are joined by Amanda, a.k.a. Frank the Turtle.
Hello.
Amanda with a powerful introduction. Like I invited
she
her on.
She doesn't need an introduction. It's Amanda.
I know, but yeah, but she, like I told her this was coming up like a month ahead of time, and she was like, I know what I'm going to say when I get on the mic. It's going to be hello.
Oh,
I thought about it for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yes, that was the dream. That was the plan. But yeah, I like Amanda's like in a way to me it's funny because it's just when her story came out and all that kind of stuff, she was just like the star of like this movement for like a moment where I was just like, oh man, like Amanda's even talking to me. Like this is the coolest thing in the world. Like I honestly have to say that is something that did happen to me back then. And like one of my friends who like listens to the pod and is like very tangential, he like freaked out the first time I like interviewed her. She's like, oh my God, she was at January 6th. She did all this stuff. Like, I can't believe you're talking to her. And I was like, yeah, I am. It's crazy.
It's just was it January 6th?
Yes. Yeah. She stormed the Capitol. She's, I mean, if only my friend went like full stewing on. It was like, she stormed the Capitol. She's a baddie of the great enemy of America, the usurper.
You have good. Nancy Pelosi's podium, I heard.
I do. And if you guys could call me by my code name, which is Amanda Turtlehead, I would really.
Turtle.
Oh, God. I saw Adam Katzinger had a post where he was like, this is a great thread. And it was like Stu. It was Stu. And I was like, no, Adam Katzinger, no. Wrong.
I couldn't see it because I'm blocked, but I understand that it happened.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, FYI,
I'm sure
there are
great points.
Yeah, you can make another account and sneakily see things that people.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have like 4 accounts.
Yeah,
I know. I actually want to do a QAnon OPSEC test at this very moment, which is one of my favorite things that's like so funny about QAnon is my quote-unquote burner account that I use to monitor them right now on my phone is literally just the HellwQrld podcast account. Like, none of these clowns who have me blocked have thought to themselves, hey, that guy has a podcast, and he has a tiny podcast-specific account on Twitter. I should block that, too. None of them do. Literally, I just access all of their accounts via... I have, like, other accounts that if needed, but they would just make me laugh so much if any of them ever woke up and was just like, oh, I should probably block HellwQrld also so he can't see me there. It's like, nope.
Shout out to having a small little podcast that nobody listens to.
Yes. Techful burner account usefulness. So good. So smart. I am the smartest and bravest of boys. Yeah, so that was super depressing that like the last person in the world you need to talk about when it comes to disinformation and QAnon is the guy, like a former member of Congress. It's like, hey, everybody, look at this thread. A lot of good points being made here.
What did Stu say in it?
I just remember I basically saw Katzinger said that, and then I got very sad. So let me. Yeah,
this is why I didn't look at it on my other account. So that was like, this is a bummer.
Adam Katzinger, Slava Ukraini. I love that. Man, thanks for your solidarity with Ukraine, you Republican. You're truly the greatest. So, yeah. No, man, this guy's on Twitter more than I am. Holy smokes. He's got
That's always healthy.
Yep. Oh, yeah, it's good. It's a good sign for your former...
So what did he do? He, like, shared a Stewanon.
He's Stewartson himself.
Oh. Yeah, he shared Jim Stewartson, and he said, "You have said the actual truth. Great thread." And Jim says, imagine a foreign government developed an invisible, odorless chemical weapon that causes serious brain damage. What if they stuck a huge supply into the United States and affected it, at least a third of the population? We'd want to do something about that, right? Now, replace chemical with psychological. Why would it be any different? This is literally saying that Russia created QAnon, and that's
I have 10,000 hamburgers. Now replace hamburger with dollar bills.
When a
What
coordinated
does that mean? That's like gibberish. What are you fucking talking about?
I'm so glad that local media reaches out to this guy for QAnon expertise sometimes. That's so cool. Fuck everybody.
2/3 of the country are my friends, and now replace friends with want me dead. Same thing.
So true. So true.
Really makes you think.
Yeah. Basically, it's just Jim whining.
It's worse than I thought.
Yeah, it's Jim whining about psyops and then blaming them on our foreign enemies, because QAnon could not have been created by trolls on 4chan and 8chan. It's impossible. There was
Reiner's so going to have him on the podcast.
Oh, God, I hope so. That'd be the greatest thing in the world. Oh, man, the Reiner Stu crossover. That'd be the best. I'd be so happy. If Jim Stewartson ever got into the Kennedy assassination, that would be the funniest thing in the history of the world. It'd be so awesome. And the thing is that, like, Jim would absolutely believe that shit, because Jim lives in a world where a big bad has to be behind things. Like, QAnon can't be organic. Nothing can be organic. Everything has to be created by some evil person doing an evil thing, and that's just the way the world works. There's no way the world can possibly just be random and chaotic, and shit just happens. Like, that is just something that is unacceptable in Jim's worldview, and that's the QAnon worldview, which is why I hate it so much.
He'd be like, "Where was Michael Flynn on November 22nd, 1963?"
oh God, no! He'd have like photoshops of like Flynn and Oswald like shaking hands. He'd be like Forrest Gump. Oh man!
Wait, Rob Reiner's like a famous person. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's the director of like Spinal. This is Spinal Tap, and
just millions of followers. Wow.
Yeah,
and you know Soledad O'Brien? She's like actually a journalist.
Yeah,
she's the person that's actually hosting this podcast. So she's lending her journalistic credibility to this Rob Reiner just spewing nonsense. It's listeners, if you have not listened to our JFK podcast, I would recommend it, because oh boy, we're getting into some interesting territory.
Yeah, it really, like, to me, this is the Kennedy assassination is so fundamental to American conspiracy theories and that worldview. And the thing is that we have so aggressively normalized ridiculous things through that. Like, if you said the government killed the president, you should be like looked at as a crazy person. But in JFK world, it's like, yeah, the government killed the president. That totally is what happened. And it's just,
it's like, not even just it's the entire, it's Kennedy was the lone, it's literally the Trump is fighting the deep state story, but blue version. It's Kennedy was going to save the world and bring about world peace, and the entire government was against him and needed to take him out and to stop lib world peace from happening. And that's what happened.
Right. Yeah. It's that. It's like that Kennedy was literally about to sign a peace accord with Khrushchev and Castro, and then the bad people killed him so that wouldn't happen and we would stay at war for forever. I mean, I like Rob Reiner would because like Rob Reiner is a like just like normie Dem, like he's gonna run to the ballot box to vote for Biden in 2024, like all that kind of stuff. Rob Reiner would like his head would explode if he looked at all the QAnon memes that were like JFK and Trump next to each other, the starter, the finisher, like, because like Rob would be like, no, you don't understand. Like, the bad government killed Kennedy, but then the bad people were the Republicans, and QAnon's like, nope, bad people are the deep state, and it's literally everybody, and we know the truth, and now we're like telling the world, and Kennedy was good because the bad people killed him, and blah blah blah. It's like, oh my god, it's just wild. It's just truly wild that this level of mania exists in our country, and no one cares. No one cares. Like, when I post stuff about this, I get so many people who are like, Poker, I agree with you about a lot of stuff, but you'll never convince me the government didn't kill Kennedy. And it's like, how is that so ingrained in you? Why is something that happened 60 years ago that you have probably done no research into except for watching a couple videos on YouTube? How is this like so baked into your soul that you're like, nope, CIA killed Jack and I know it, and you're never going to tell me nothing no wise?
Yeah. Now Sold Out O'Brien is literally tweeting about it an hour ago. I just checked.
Yes!
Soledad spams. And what's so sick is that she gets almost no engagement on these posts. But what's worse is that when she does get engagement, the people are like, I love your pod. It's so good. Oh, you're bringing down the deep state. It's like, no, she's not. Oh, God. It's just brainworms. It's literally brainworms, the podcast, just throwing brainworms at people, having them go into people's ears and noses and mouths and get into their brains. And it's like, no, this is so bad.
You definitely are seeing how eventually just kind of like the 9/11 conspiracy and probably Pizzagate will one day kind of be normalized into American culture, which is a bummer.
It's great. It's just so great. Well, enough shilling of our other podcasts and other whining. It's time to get into the ultra exciting amuse-bouche.
It's time for a light sampling of insanity. Get ready for the amuse-bouche.
So this week, I had someone message me because it appears that one of the Queen of Canada's followers stated that they are, quote, they've been having clones show up near me to aim at me with 5G bioweapon radiation from their phones to make me sick. Not since 2022, not so happening now. A program run by the rogue military. Not all of them were clones. One of these attacks was aimed at me by Katrina Belanoff in 2020, then the owner of a cannibal restaurant in Los Angeles. She had just arrived in Vancouver to meet me on the street because cookies on her website told her that I was reading all about their restaurant, knowing she was serving human meat to the elites. She was afraid about who I might be talking to about their cannibalism. I paid for the price for my research by getting very sick for a month, ending up with pneumonia. Fortunately, Katrina's name is now on the list for all tests and executions, arrests and executions. She was executed in 2020, 6 months after meeting me, not for what she did to me, but for what she did at the cannibal restaurant. There's nothing worse than what they did to humanity. So this is a very rational and normal person who is a worshiper of the Queen of Canada, the lady who is QAnon adjacent and also totally insane, and tells these people not to pay their bills, and then they get their power shut off in the Canadian cold, which is very bad. Do either of you have any idea what she's talking about when it comes to the restaurant?
No.
Oh, man. Boom, I actually win a point. And for all of you who are not listening to the pregame of this pod, Amanda and Haley were talking about Nazis, and I was just sitting there like a dog staring at its reflection in a puddle. I was just like, oh. And they're just naming off 6, 7, 8, 9 different Nazis, and I'm just like, the pretty ladies are talking about the Nazis. Oh man, this is interesting. Oh man. So the fact that I actually get to score a point on them and that they don't know this weird part of the internet is so validating to me. It's like, oh my God. So what this actually is there is a website that has been up for a million years, and it's called the cannibalclub.org. And it is the most obvious troll in the history of trolls. And it's all about how they serve human meat to the elite of the elite, and they have a picture of they have like a staff page you can click onto, and there's like 4 people that are the staff of the Cannibal Club restaurant.
I'm looking at it now.
And Three of those four photos on the staff are stock photos you can get on Shutterstock, and the last one is like the one of the lady who appears to be the lady in the red shirt who's like smiling at you. That's actually like an ad for a car, and you can find that photo.
It looks like a car ad.
Yeah,
she's literally driving in a car and staring out of the car.
Yes.
This website looks like it was made in 1993.
Right, this is GeoCities. This is like the most ancient website in the world, but these people get super bent out of shape over this website every couple of years or so. And Q actually made a Q drop about this website. And when people pointed out to Q that this is a joke and that Q was incredibly stupid for bringing this up, Q was like, well, that's how they normalize it. They make you think it's a joke, but then they really are serving up human meat to the global elite. It's what they do. And
I like that it doesn't have an address. You have to reach out to them through their contact page.
Well, not just anybody gets to go. That makes sense to me.
It's a club.
Right, it's a Kindle club.
This is a pacing addresses, okay?
You don't put your restaurant address on the website, you know.
That's
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
No restaurant sends their assassination coordinates to people over the internet. Boom, topical reference. Yes. Yeah. So the other thing that Q mentioned on that was it was like the human harvesting farm or something like that, and it was basically a bunch of edgelord vegans on Facebook posting photos of like babies and calling them human veal and talking about like fattening them up and all that kind of stuff and pretending like that was real. And they had a lot of like photos of like props from the Alien Predator series of like skinned humans on meat hooks and shit. And they were like, look, they're chopping people up and they're eating them. And it's like, no, it's just edgelord vegans trying to be like, if you're eating meat, you might as well eat humans too. How do you like them apples? And yeah.
Maybe I would dabble. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Long pig, long pig, long pig. Yeah, we did it. It only took me like 200 episodes, but I finally started chanting long pig on the podcast. I'm fully broken as a human being.
Amanda, would you eat people? I'm going to clip this and send it to your enemies, so answer wisely.
I don't really see the appeal. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't eat people either.
Yeah.
It feels a little... nah.
We're never going to go viral like Alex. We're never going to go viral like Alex Jones. You got to like be like super into eating people. That's how you go viral. Mm-hmm. You're just like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to eat people. And it's like, oh shit, this guy's nuts. He's going to eat people. And then he gets like 10 million views. And then he's like, what I was actually doing was cutting Swiftian satire. I wasn't really talking about eating people. It's like, no, you were. You were really talking about how in the apocalypse, the only meat sources you were going to have was your neighbors. So you were going to have to eat them. It's like, calm down, buddy. Jesus Christ.
Well, you can only do it during the apocalypse, right? Because like that guy in Germany did it. He ate that guy and then he got in trouble. And that's all he's known for now. And like, let's be real. If you lived on the West Coast, your last name is Donner. I would change my last name. I don't want anybody asking. And then you could read entire books about how long people held out before they ate meat, human meat. You know, and that's embarrassing. That's a really embarrassing legacy. Just some didn't die in the tundra. Meat.
Some didn't do it. You know, some people
held out for a really long time and they almost died. They basically were forced to, and that is, man, that's a bummer. You know, you gotta change your name.
So yeah, 5G bioweapons, aka phones, being held at people. I like the idea that you can actually intimidate someone by holding a phone near them, so you're radiating them. Like you're just walking down the street, they're just walking down the street, then you're just like, boom, iPhone in your face, and they're just like, no, the 5G death radiation, and you're like, yeah, I like them apples. How do
modern day heart attack gun? You know?
Yes.
Wow. I was gonna get a taser, but I got an Apple Watch instead.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wonder how these people use their phones. Do they have like a Bluetooth headpiece that's been like specially? It has like a Faraday cage wrapped around it to contain the radiation.
Absolutely. We forgot to put our segments back in the chat after we all reset, so I don't know what we're talking about today.
Oh, don't worry, because I don't know what we're talking about either. We're just riffing. But I do remember. I do remember our main points, which are the next point is going into the Iowa Caucus Monday night. There were some people concerned that the God Emperor wasn't going to do so well. So there were some ideas about what could possibly prevent the God Emperor from achieving a dominant victory. And one of those was Laura Loomer posting on Twitter and other social media platforms that the deep state was using HARP to make Iowa unnaturally cold and snowy. And this was going to drive
Arizona
down...
hero. Loomer. HARP.
Yes, they were harping Iowa into unbelievable coldness, which would depress the voter turnout, thus allowing the deep state to flood the caucuses with their evil deep state voters that would then vote for not Trump and deny him victory in the Iowa caucus, because that's the thing that was absolutely totally going to happen. And it turned out that it all worked out great. Trump won. The deep state's freezing cold was unable to defeat the will of the patriots who showed up to cast their ballots in the confusing and incoherent caucus format, which has been explained to me numerous times, and I still don't care and don't ever want to care or know how it works. Our other conspiracy... go ahead.
I was going to say, I really loved how he was like, you just got to come. It doesn't matter. Pick up your neighbors, pick up your friends. If you drop dead after you vote, that's fine.
Yes. Yeah, Trump was like, it's really going to be cold out, but you still got to vote. If you die after voting, it was worth it. He literally stated that he was willing to trade your life for your vote. That was a totally acceptable transaction for Donald Trump. I mean, that should just be the Biden campaign ad, is that Joe Biden's like,
also,
if it will kill you to vote, please do not vote for me. I would like you to continue living. That would be nice.
Also, it's a primary. Like, that is like, then they're dead. Who's going to vote for you for president? What? Save that. Put that in your back pocket.
Yeah, there's a bigger election coming up.
You're going to really need those people.
I love the idea that, like, in November, like, Iowa suddenly is a battleground state that flips to Biden, and they're like, well, Biden won by 10,000 votes, and guess what? It turned out 10,000 people died after voting for Trump in the freezing cold of Iowa.
Mass pile up on the highway going home.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that all happened. While the conspiracy theories about Trump's possible loss were going on, there was also conspiracy theories about the fact that the storm had arrived because Donald Trump showed up to a rally, and he was wearing a special hat for this rally that read Iowa Caucus Captain in gold, and the hat itself was white. And QAnon looked at this and just absolutely... Oh man, they made a messy mess in their pants, and I'll leave it up to you to figure out how they messed their pants. But boy howdy, seeing their hero wearing a literal white hat, they were like, "Oh, it's happening! The storm is upon us. Hillary's being taken to Gitmo for the 90th time now. Oh my God!"
Storming. Wow. The symbolism right in our face.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You take that, HARP. You give us a storm, we give you a storm.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is HARP.
Yes, Donald Trump is HARP. Yeah, the deep state whispered to Trump, "You can't survive the HARP." Trump replied, "I am the HARP." Oh God. Yeah, it's so. And then later on, Trump was delivering pizza to people, which
that was awesome. So strong.
He's so strong.
So strong. The guy who has the 8-bit Twitter avatar, Mario, was like, Biden couldn't lift more than 2 pizzas. Trump's carrying 8. Oh my God! It's like pretty sure Joe Biden can carry 8 pizzas.
Also, they're not big pizzas. Like, that's the thing. It's like, after I broke my arm, I got a really big pizza and walked a mile back to my office with it. And I was like, man, this is kind of heavy for someone with a freshly out of surgery arm. But it was like one of the big ones, like huge. These were like
filled with toppings.
I could eat the whole. No, but I meant like big. These are the kind you could sit and eat the whole thing yourself. Like those boxes were not that big.
It's like Hot and Ready's.
Like a little bit bigger than like a Caesar's. It looked like, Yeah, Johnny made like a lunatic.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Biden's ice cream cones are heavier than those boxes of pizza. It's like, oh my god, if we're doing the great American food off between Biden and Trump, it's like, oh my god. But again,
which of my geriatric fucks can waddle around with the most amount of junk food?
What they really should have done to Trump was have him carry the pizzas down a very slow incline. And let's see how he handles that, because that would have been truly pizza everywhere, Trump everywhere. Oh God,
by these metrics, though, I think pizza delivery boys should be the next president.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
I think we should have Festivus for president. You have to do a feat of strength.
Yeah,
and whoever wins that, and it has to be a creative one. It can't just be boring.
Well, I'm here for all of this, mostly because of the fact that all of these options are immediately disqualifying to Trump, much like the 14th Amendment. So, yeah, but this is what's so funny is that if any Democrat or any liberal is within 100 yards of a pizza box, they are a pederast. They are a adrenochrome drinking, child slaughtering monster. Donald Trump walks out with 8 pizza boxes, and QAnon's like, "Whoa! Look at Trump with the pizza boxes, so great!" Yeah. It's like, how is that great? Pizza is literally the food of the devil. Like, when you
that third box is Abigail. Okay.
Yes. Pizza ovens are actual hell mouths. They're actual portals to hell. You open up the pizza oven, throw the pizza in, and the screams of the souls of enslaved children erupt from the pizza oven, and you slam it shut, and that's what cooks the pizza. The horror of young children. It's like spiritual adrenochrome. That's how they cook it.
What do you think sauce is?
Oh.
But also, white hat pizza. You ever think about that? That's what he was carrying.
White hat, yeah. That's like Liz Crokin and all their excuses. Is whenever the good people do the bad thing, they're trolling. They're trolling the deep state.
Here's what actually happened. He went to the pizza parlor. He ordered a child, and then he got 8 boxes, hollowed them out, put the child in the box, and carried her to safety. He's really a hero when you think about it.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Wow. Amanda is truly the greatest of all bakers. She would have the biggest following on 8kun imaginable.
There's a tiny child in those 8 pizzas.
Yes, there's a tiny child in those 8 boxes. Trump got them out of Wayfair and got them in the pizza boxes. It's great. It's just,
and it's an even bigger test of strength because he's not just carrying 8 pizzas. It's actually a child in there.
He's actually carrying. Yes. Oh, damn it! We've just made Trump president for life. We done boofed it. We done boofed it on this one. What an oops a daisies that was.
Good thing nobody listens. That would.
Oh, thank God! Thank God!
Yeah. Be able to pull that and get it to Trump, Mr. President.
Yeah. Yes. I'm just imagining it, like his New Hampshire press conference. He's going to have the small child that he carried through the pizza boxes. Yes. Oh God, it's so perfect. Oh man. So finally, from our Bush topics, when it comes to this silliness that was Iowa, it's now time for Bon Voyage Vivek, everyone's favorite toady bootlick to Donald Trump, who was trying to start a podcasting career or get some low-level position in the Trump administration so he can be on Sunday morning talk shows or whatever it was he was actually angling for. Our boy Vivek has declared that he is now dropping out of the race. No, Vivek, no. You had so much to run for. Oh, doing a MAGA impersonation of Trump while not being white, probably not a winning formula in a Republican primary. But
yeah. Did you see the Babylon Bee joke? I guess we'll call it. Will we call it a joke? It's about as standard as their other jokes, isn't it? The fact that it's not a joke, but they were like,
it's just literal racism.
It's just racist.
Yeah. I just looking at the way Amanda's reacting, she has not seen the joke yet.
I've seen it.
Oh, damn
I was thinking somebody had posted, they had like quote tweeted Vivek saying something, and there's like that screenshot of somebody like saying like, I am from India. I am like Indian Hitler. I love Hitler. And like all these people on the right were like, this is so racist of you to say. And I was kind of just thinking, I wonder how many of those people I look at their accounts are like on that Babylon Bee joke. Like, this is so funny. You're so funny. You know, like, I bet you a lot of them are conflicting feelings.
For listeners who don't know, their joke was basically like, Vivek's going to get a position in the Trump administration as a 7-Eleven clerk, right? That was kind of the gist of the joke.
He's going to be the manager.
He's going to work at 7-Eleven.
Yeah. I think they said they're going to build a 7-Eleven in the White House, and Vivek's going to get to manage it. That's going to be his job in the Trump administration. And it was just like, wow, Indian guy runs a 7-Eleven. Oh, so clever. The topical humor, the cutting wit. Oh, man.
MJ said today, Morgan, like whatever her name is, she was like, when people email the Babylon Bee about this and complain, I guess you don't realize that you're emailing me and I don't give a shit. So it's like, they're not sorry.
No, they're not sorry. I did see a little bit of a debate going back and forth in their comments, like, come on guys, too far, as if they don't know where they're at. And and then a bunch of people being like, I bet Vivek would find this funny. You know, like
Ashley St. Clair quote tweeted it when it was first posted, and she said, she tagged him and she said, hey Vivek, I just want you to know I don't have any control over our writers, because Ashley is like friendly with him, you know, like in person. And so I thought that was interesting. I was like, I think she's joking, but I also think maybe she's not all joking. I was a part of this.
Really cool that everybody's being racist to Vivek. It sounds like they really like you.
Well,
Vivek.
I was watching MSNBC for the caucus. And they like cut to, hold on. I was watching Nick Fuentes watch MSNBC caucus. And like they cut to Vivek like giving his concession speech. But then they interrupt the concession speech and go, breaking. Vivek is about to drop out.
Hilarious.
This guy can't get a break anywhere.
Now, the one thing I wanted to bring...
It was DeSantis, right? They had a second place meter on New York Times.
Yeah. Like, basically, it was like DeSantis edged out Haley for second, and it was just like, whoa, yay, congratulations. You both don't matter at all. I will be interested to see what happens in New Hampshire, because, like, Haley is, like, I don't know, like, appears to be in some polls remotely competitive in New Hampshire. And Trump's already doing this shit where he's like, New Hampshire's rigged. Because that is his immediate, like, the moment he sees a poll where he's, like, not winning by double digits over all of his opponents, his immediate reaction is to start screaming that it's rigged. So I just feel like that's a really shitty thing to do, because New Hampshire loves this shit. New Hampshire voters love just, like, giving the favorite a middle finger and being like, fuck you, buddy. So I think it's kind of weird. I mean, I think that Trump will win, but if he doesn't, I will laugh hysterically, and it will be very funny. And then we will go to South Carolina, which is like Nikki Haley's home state, which is weird. I mean, it's just kind of funny that I haven't seen anyone saying that she even has a chance of winning her home state. It's like really odd that she's competitive in New Hampshire and goes get raffle stomped in South Carolina. It's like, man, what a great job you did as governor of your state if you're not even competitive in it. Holy shit. But
she took down the Confederate flag. Damn it.
Boo!
You know?
Heritage, not hate.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that's so funny about Vivek was literally right before the caucus, he had this very bizarre campaign tactic, which was vote for me because the deep state is trying to get this down to Nikki versus Trump, and then they're going to eliminate Trump and make Nikki the nominee. So you need to pick me so that we have more options against Nikki Haley, because Trump isn't going to make it. And this was very vague and bizarre, because I'm assuming Vivek was trying to make it this way that people, if anyone pushed him on it, he'd be like, I'm talking about the 14th Amendment. They're going to kick him off the ballot. But by using the term eliminate, he's definitely hinting at the fact that, like, yeah, the deep state's going to kill Trump. They're just going to kill him. And
100%.
And it's just like, holy Vivek, if the deep state's willing to kill him, why would they not kill you? Like, the deep state only can kill one candidate they don't like. They only got one candidate murdering bullet in them. And
They have rules, you know.
Like the
deep
Oswald
state,
situation.
They operate by a complex system of honor and rules. You wouldn't understand. That's fine.
Yes.
It's like when they programmed Oswald to kill Kennedy. He was the only one they programmed. They had a guy that could take him out because they had to make it fair. And if Oswald made it to the end point, the final boss, and killed Kennedy, then it's fair game. He did it.
He wins.
He wins.
He gets the prize.
Yeah, so that's how it works, I think.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. I'm very much intrigued by what you say, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter now. So so Vivek basically was on the vote for me, they're going to kill Trump plan. That didn't work, and now Vivek has dropped out. He is endorsing Trump, the man that he literally believes will not make it to November for the election because the deep state will eliminate him, which seems like an odd thing to do. And now, the real fun thing here with Vivek and what happened was Vivek went on stage with Trump and was like, hey, everybody, I love Trump now. He's the greatest. Everyone loves Trump. And QAnon has had two reactions. One is, good on you, Vivek. You fought the good fight, and now you're a loyal soldier, and we love you. But the other side of it is, did you see the look Trump gave Vivek? That's the look he gave Fauci. You don't want to be on the other side of the Trump stare, baby. And there's people who've got, like, threads of, like, Trump glaring at people.
Let's go. Let's go. Is he going to kill Vivek? What's going on? I'm in. Let's go. Yes. What's happening to Vivek? He's so annoying. What torture is going to befall him? I want to know. They should fight. They should fight. That's good. That'd
be a funny fight, honestly. I think it would be really funny.
Trump can't fight.
Vivek looks like a bitch.
Yeah, it would be really unique.
I don't know.
I really don't know who'd win.
My money's on Vivek because Trump's like 80, senile, and overweight, and can't actually move.
But he's so small, and I think he would be scared to throw a punch at Trump.
He's scared to throw a punch because he knows if he hits Trump, he has to not only kill and dominate Trump, he has to kill and dominate like 10,000 lunatics. He's going to be dogging it for the rest of his life.
Yep. It would be an interesting fight. We should get this happening.
Let's start a GoFundMe.
Start a GoFundMe for the Trump Vivek the Rumble.
Yeah. It would be great.
The throwdown in Iowa, Vivek versus Trump.
I think one of my favorite things that I saw on the news during the caucus was that there's still a lot of, like, I think they're doing this only because their ratings are awful, but like MSNBC, CNN, talking head libs being like, acting like Trump still might not get the nomination. Like, they had Claire McCaskill on MSNBC, and she was talking about how, like, Trump actually did really bad, and it's not looking so good for him. And it's like
amazing.
I know, and I'm I'm like, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. We're not doing this again.
Well,
He's
Michael
gonna get the
Steele-
nomination. Jesus Christ. What?
Well, what was his name? Steele and Tim Miller were both on MSNBC on Jen Psaki's show, and they were both like, "Yeah, he's got it in the bag. Like, you guys see that now, right?" Like, Tim and I were talking, like, I don't know, like sometime last month, and we brought up how like Trump has it in the bag, and that was a month before Iowa. So it's very interesting how the never Trump Republicans are like, "Are you guys fucking stupid?"
Literally.
I can't believe that Claire McCaskill would go on television and say that after Iowa. That is wild. Let's hope. But, I keep getting told by editors when I pitch stories, oh, everybody knows there's Nazis, in these political groups and in Congress. Nobody cares. And I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you March 6th. We'll see how you feel Hangover Wednesday. We'll see how that's going for you. Because I'm pretty sure you're going to be in for a surprise. Or that's what you want. It's one or the other.
Definitely.
This guy's got a thread of Trump staring at Fauci and then Hillary and Obama, and they're just like, yeah, look at him giving him the stare. Look at him looking at him, yeah.
The stare means that suddenly there's like 10,000 threads about you on the Donald win. Like that's it. That's what the stare does. It doesn't do anything else. There's a bobblehead of you for sale at a Clay Clark event if you get the stare for too long. A derogatory bobblehead. That's it.
Vivek Ramp Swampy, am I right? Boom!
Oh my god!
Man. How you like them apples? Oh man! Yeah. So yeah, Vivek, thanks for playing. Have your lovely parting gifts. Please don't have a career after this in the public. You are horribly obnoxious and annoying.
Oh, I'm sure he's going away for sure. Definitely.
Never
hear from that guy again.
Oh, I can't. He'll be on Dancing with the Stars. He'll be on Dancing with the Stars in next season. He'll make it to the final 7. It'll be great. God, just absolutely the worst of all things.
He's probably going to write one of those children's books like Sean Spicer did and Jack Pachovic.
Absolutely.
And Lives of TikTok. Oh God, what's his?
There's so many children's books. Who did we read? We read one, Mike.
Jack Pachovic read his to me.
We were reading the Kash Patel children's book about the
It was like OG, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of those. Like, doesn't Ashley Sinclair have one? A lot of
she
those.
Has one too.
Yeah,
it's all for the same company.
Yep.
And they use the same ghostwriters because I went to one of the events and wrote about it, and like they use the same ghostwriters for everybody. But the guy I talked to, because it was Jack Pachovic, Libs of TikTok, Sean Spicer, and Kirk Cameron at mine, and Sean Spicer's was uncomfortably close to him being like, I thought about killing myself because you guys were mean to me. And I asked the guy, I was like, was he more hands-on? He's like, Sean was really involved in the book writing process. Like, oh, I could tell he seemed to really connect. Material. He's like, have you ever considered sometimes when you're mean to people and you don't have to get the whole side of their story out, and then they just don't know what to do, and then you demonize them, and then they have to go sit in the corner by themselves, and then they're sad children, then they're sad, and it's just like, okay. Sometimes you're so mean to people that they want to hurt themselves, and it's just like, okay. So, but everybody else uses a ghostwriter. They use the same ghostwriter.
Yeah, Mark Lamb. I just remembered because he did the same tour with Kirk Cameron here, and nothing like a racist constitutional sheriff writing your children's book, right? That's what we want.
Kirk pulled out his statue?
I don't know. I didn't go to this. I didn't go to it. I don't think I'm allowed in Scottsdale.
I'm just imagining the city limits of Scottsdale just have posters of Haley's face on them, like "Do not let this woman in."
Do not. There's like a financial limit to enter Scottsdale, and I don't think I match it.
Oh yeah, it's true. I stayed there for work for like a month or so. It was some like JW resort or something is what I was at. It's nice. It's really nice.
So even though we actually kind of got into the whole Iowa result thing already, we'll pretend like we actually didn't and move over to our headlines.
From the digital headlines to the digital front lines, it's Q's in the news.
So Trump won Iowa. That sucked. So yeah, turnout was low, not great. Again, that was probably due to the HARP weapon. So we got to find out that a bunch of white people in Iowa want a dictator, as was said to numerous people that were being interviewed by the media about, hey, so Trump, why are you voting for him? Because I want him to crush our enemies. And that's a healthy, normal thing an American should say in the year of our Lord 2024. So it's going great.
Yeah.
Yes, our the great American experiment continues apace.
I'm thrilled personally.
What Haley and Amanda said is like, it's really wild to me that there's been like a year, literally over a year, of just denial about what this election is going to be. Like, the fact that this has been a rematch literally brewing for 4 years, and so many people have refused to accept that for the entire time, it is wild to me. It's like, I'm like, folks, Biden's the incumbent president. Parties don't primary incumbent presidents. That's just not how this works. And on the other side of the equation, Trump has a stranglehold on the Republican primary voter. Like, they ain't going for somebody else. They know what they like, and they're not going to take diet what they like. They want the original. They want the original recipe. That's what they're going to go for. So the fact that we've had this happening for all this time, and people are still just like, man, there's no way that's going to happen. It's like, yes, it is. I saw a post about a news article a week ago where they said that the biggest problem the Biden campaign had was that 3 out of 4 undecided voters they were reaching out to refused to accept that Trump was going to be the Republican nominee. They were just like, so who are you voting for in 2024? And the people were like, I don't know. We'll see who the Republican puts up. And the Biden people were like, they're putting up Trump. And then those people were like, no, they ain't. That ain't happening. And it's like, okay, we'll call you back in 2 months and see how you feel when you find out it's Trump.
I really thought that these editors are just like, really are like thinking like, oh, if Trump's not the nominee, I don't want to waste the space in my magazines. But I mean, I've been thinking that they want Trump to be the nominee. But now I am wondering, maybe some of them are just like, really, we're not understanding it. I think 2 people saw the midterms and conflated that with Trumpism, but that's not. Do you know what I mean? Like, I thought that was strange too. I've seen people be like, well, the midterms went really poorly for Trump. And it's like, did they? Because he wasn't in the midterms. Like, I might love my friend, but I don't love her boyfriend, right? Like, you love Trump. Yeah. You're willing to die for Trump. You're not willing to die for the guy he tells you to go vote for. Voting's fucking boring. Who cares? But Trump? Yeah. That's a party. I don't know. Yeah. Man, I did not know that was a thing that had happened. When,
Yeah. Yeah, that was like, they were saying that here it is. The Biden campaign is grappling with a stubborn reality. The majority of undecided voters simply do not seem to believe, at least not yet, that Donald Trump is likely to be the Republican nominee. Nearly 3 in 4 per internal campaign research. Just, yep.
I mean, I've definitely talked to somebody who was probably the most, they don't follow politics whatsoever kind of person. And they literally asked me, they were like, so what's going on with Trump? What's going on with him lately? And I'm like, well, he'll probably be the nominee. And they're like, no way. Like, I think if you just don't follow the news, you're like, well, that's over. That's done. And then people who are really in the weeds are like, what are you talking about? It's actually not done. And he's probably going to be, he's definitely going to be the nominee. So maybe we should.
Yeah, maybe we should start talking about that a little.
Mm-hmm. When I tweeted about it, somebody was like, it was Threads, because Threads is...
Threads, it's always Threads.
It's always... Somebody was like, or maybe it was Blue Sky, I don't remember what it was. Whatever, it was not Twitter, but somebody was like, oh, well, he could die, or all of this. And I'm like, and you think that solves the problem? I mean, like, okay, like, so could Joe Biden. Like, these are both old fucks. Like, what's your point here? Like, if I'm telling you Trump's going to be the nominee, there's a problem that's bigger than whether or not he lives till November. Like,
on Threads, I got kind of the reaction of, like, he's not going to get the nomination because, like, he'll be barred from running. Like, people are on that copium, and
Oh,
it's like,
that's so
no, that's not what's happening.
I saw he might be in jail, and it's like,
I've seen that
doesn't
too.
stop anybody from voting for him. What are you talking about? It just
But also, that's just so much copium.
You can still write in someone's name, and you know what's going to fucking happen. Like,
Mike, do you think that Trump is going to be sitting in jail for the rest of his life? It's like people think that like he's going to go to jail forever, and that's just not I don't think that's what's going to happen.
I think that if he doesn't win the election, he will be in court for the remainder of his life, just trying to avoid being in jail. And I think that he will be like, one of my friends was talking to me about, he was like, hey man, when's Alex Jones going to actually pay all those people from Sandy Hook? And I was like, hopefully soon. But my friend was then horrified to find out that Alex Jones is younger than him. He was like, oh my God. He's like, he's like, Alex Jones isn't even 50 yet? I thought that guy was in his 60s. He looks like shit. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But I guess hate really does age a person. And he then had a kind of like, a bit of relief as a burden was lifted off his shoulders. He's like, yeah, Alex Jones can't actually run out the clock that many years. Like, he's either going to die of his coke problem, or he's going to have to pay the Sandy Hook families. Whereas Trump is very advanced in age. So Trump probably will be able to run out the clock in court cases until the cholesterol takes its course and brings the God Emperor low, as it were. And
like Giuliani, he's just running out the clock. He's never going to pay anybody.
He's also liquefying all the time.
He's literally liquefying in front of us.
Giuliani's running out the clock and also speeding up the clock. The dude's probably not he probably hasn't been sober past 2:00 in the afternoon for like 6 months at this point. I mean, oh my God, that is a dude that is in rough shape. But if we pay Cameo $20, I can still wave at him and be like, hey, Rudy. Yeah, so that is on the other side of this equation. QAnon, much as like people who are not involved in politics and are just doe-eyed, undecided voters, QAnon is so convinced that Biden's going to be moved aside by the deep state. Mostly because as much as they hate Biden and they've tried to get their hate boner up for Biden. They've had 4 years to get angry at this dumb old white guy. And it just doesn't work as good as it does when they hate Hillary, or especially when they hate Michelle Obama. So they're just praying some shiny new toy swoops into the Democratic nomination and gives them a more hateable enemy that they can spend their days like screaming and yelling about. And I saw a tweet today by one of my favorite QAnon guys, because his like avatars are Groiper. His name is Real Ben, and he's from Canada. I love it. I love Canadian Groipers who hate America. It's like, buddy, stay in your own lane. Be mad at Trudeau. Calm the fuck down. But he was just like, I know it's going to be Trump in 2024, but it sure as hell won't be Biden, and you can punch this back at me because I'm right. And it's like, you guys, Q was talking about Biden getting replaced in 2020 because he knew Biden's superpower was being incredibly boring and just generically a guy. Like, Biden's just this like force field of banality where you have to try to invent ways to get angry at him because he's just there. He's not evil because he's not white or not a dude. Like, it's just, QAnon's like, what? I have to hate a cishet white guy? No! Why is the universe so unfair? Why is the universe so mean to me? Please, let Michelle Obama be the nominee so I can spend the next 8 months photoshopping penises onto her. Because that's
just like the biggest dicks.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
Like dicks that are not. They don't go that big. I don't know what you guys are doing sometimes.
Listen. I hate I hate black people. I hate trans people. And that is why I spend all day photoshopping black dicks on this black woman.
Huge.
Like, don't mind me over here. I'm completely normal. Sure.
Yes.
Go for it,
I
guys.
saw one that went down to like the knee. Like they always put bulges in her nice dresses, and it's like there was one. I think you actually posted it, Mike, and it was like near her knee. I was like, "There's no fucking way, soft." God damn.
Just because I fantasize about Michelle's big soft dick all day, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with me.
It's big. It's so...
And the tweet you're talking about, the best part about that is that the guy literally 5 hours before that was like, I don't care about trans people. It's you people and your weird obsession with pronouns that are throwing this in my face. And then immediately, like his next tweet basically is like, I photoshopped a big dick onto Michelle Obama. Boom! How do you like that? It's just like it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, I love American politics. I love the discourse.
So good. Yeah, no, the rest of the world just does not take us serious. Like I had drinks with a friend of mine from high school, bizarrely. He like follows me on Twitter, and he lives in Angola, which is where he's originally from. And he was like, yeah, you know what, January 6th, everybody was like, well, you're the American representative in our friend group here in Angola, so what the fuck is wrong with your people? And then, like, again with the Speaker of the House, and, like, over and over, he's just like, yeah, nobody in the global South takes you guys seriously anymore, so good luck with that. Cool. So I think this is really what we need. What we really need is a full-scale campaign of putting dicks on Michelle Obama for president. That would really improve our reputation.
Yep.
Like, imagine the American representative in various countries, the UK, Angola, Brazil, and all your friends are like, why are your people back home putting dicks on Michelle Obama? I want that. I want that for all the expats, you know?
Yeah, that's what we've got this down to, is that we do not want Michelle Obama to run for president. We want her hypothetical penis to run for president. That's it. Just
with SVP, it's perfect.
That is it. It would get a lot of attention. They would never shut up about it. Damn.
Yeah. So it is. This is the beautiful world we live in, where both sides are in crippling denial about who the other side's nominee is going to be, and one side just can't imagine that horrible lunatic who attacked our Capitol will be renominated, while the other side is just like, I need to be a racist transphobe, or I won't be excited enough to go to the ballot in November. I just can't do it. If I don't have the hate juice just stirred up in me over the fact that I'm misgendering a black woman. I mean, oh my God. It's just, they're so bizarre. I mean, like, I feel like on some level, they're just kind of like, man, it'd be really nice if Biden were to like drop dead, because at the very least I can hate Kamala Harris more than him, because at least she's a black woman and I can get upset about that. But it's just like, God damn it, Joe, why do you gotta be old, white, and boring? You ice cream eating dark Brandon guy. That, like, the thing that's like so funny is the anti-Biden stuff I see at my work is like boring. I had a guy who had like Biden is an idiot, like a homemade shirt that said that, and it's like, you know, Obama was a traitor and the Muslim Kenyan usurper, and people had the photos of him being hanged with the word rope instead of nope under it. I mean, it was like violent, hateful rage. This guy's like, Joe Biden's kind of stupid, and I made a t-shirt to say that, because I don't think he's the sharpest tool in the shed. And it's like, really? That's all you got for Sleepy Joe?
Buy an official Joe Biden t-shirt and just writing dummy with sharper on top of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With an arrow pointing down. That's when you're confused.
Yeah. It's just, oh my God. It's just like, man. Well, I'm sorry for Republicans and QAnon that you don't hate Joe Biden enough. I hope you find it in your hearts to learn to hate more in the next year or so. And finally, for our headlines, I really wasn't going to bring this up until this was like kind of breaking news. There was a photo of Trump walking out of the courtroom today, and he held up his hand to wave at the crowd, and his hand looked really fucked up. It was really bizarre. I don't even know what happened. I like, honestly, like, the closest thing I can think to being even remotely realistic is that the dude has like some sort of hemoglobin or blood sugar testing he has to do, and he was doing like finger sticks, and he like fucked them up really bad.
Because he like used the entire box. His hands look really bad. It looks like he has like hand herpes.
Like,
is it true? Like, is it hand herpes?
Oh yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Yes, yeah, that is something I have seen on the internet. I have seen people saying that looks like herpes. I mean, it's just he has like a really bad scabby wound on his pointer finger, and then he has another wound on his thumb, and then on his palm he has a blood spot, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god.
Well, we can only hope it takes him soon. Amanda, we have this thing on the pod where we look forward to the day that we can go cover the Trump funeral live.
When he had COVID, I kept a can of champagne in my purse just in case. So I'm all in. What are we doing?
We're going to go to the funeral because it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. There's going to be people being very respectful in the streets and normal.
So for Bush, just the actual funeral here closed down. Like, my boyfriend worked for the government. He got like off work early. Like, it closed down like half the city, because you got to go through. So, I really think that Trump can top it. I do think that we can.
It's going to be wild. They're going to shut down the state of Florida when he dies. Like, it's going to be the entire states is going to go in the morning. It's going to be crazy.
I can't wait to view his dead body
for him too, because he was a former president. What'd you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't wait to meet his dead body.
Yeah, just see it, on view. Like it's like, hello.
Jeff Dapp.
Nice to meet you.
Glass box.
Yep. Put some pennies on his eyes. Goodbye.
Oh God.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We also didn't talk about Arizona, and he is coming to town.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your Arizona Trump rally spot. Yep, bring that up.
Yep, he's coming to town at the end of the month. Unfortunately, it will be at Dream City Church, which, for listeners who don't know, that is a massive mega church here with multiple campuses that is heavily connected to Turning Point USA and the Arizona GOP. And they also have a ton of security that they do not let you in if you are not friendly. So that's a really fun place that they're having it at. So I probably won't be able to get in because I've been escorted out by the police twice. This is a funny story. So the first time I was kicked out was with Travis View from QAnon Anonymous. We were both covering a QAnon event, like an all-day festival at a Dream City Church campus. And a group of Proud Boys got a little bit triggered by my presence because I made the mistake of having a glittery bag. And they thought that was gay. That was gay as hell. And they told security that I didn't belong there. So security comes and taps me out of the event, which I was sitting next to the huge cross in the back that's literally a rainbow cross. And I was like, come on, man. Like, maybe I'm just reclaiming the rainbow, like you guys always say. So I got tapped out by the security guard. I have to go talk to him. And he questions me about why I'm there. And it's like, it's a free fucking public event in a fucking church. I didn't say it so hostile. But then when we went back and forth, I was like, man, I thought this was fucking America. And I did literally say that. And he was like, okay, that's it. And he called the police over that they had on the campus and had
a bad word.
Yeah, she America'd us. So the police escorted me completely off the campus. They walked me all the way to the end, and then they had like a secondary security guard that just kept following me. I had to dip into like a Dunkin' Donuts so he would stop following me well off the campus. I was like spitting at him like, can you fuck off, sir? And the Proud Boys were laughing at me the whole time. And Travis also got tapped out because they were like, sir, you were talking to that woman. Are you guys an Antifa couple? They literally called us an Antifa couple. I know. Travis is like could be my dad. And
how is that not on your Twitter bio or any of your other biographies? Is Antifa couple with Travis View and tag?
And he didn't get kicked out because he doesn't look like me. He's a nice looking white dad. And he was just like, oh, well, I'm just recording the entire event for my podcast. And they're like, you can stay, sir. So he didn't get kicked out, and I did. And then the second time I got kicked out of Dream City Church was they held the Deep Rig premiere, which was the conspiracy movie about the Arizona Cyber Ninjas audit. And I actually got to see the whole movie because I sat in the back. I was staring at that security guard that followed me dead in the eye, like, you better not see me. But then at the end of the movie, the security guard that initially pulled me out of the first time I got kicked out spotted me, and he was like, hey, you. And called the police on me, and I had to get escorted off of that campus. It was a different campus. This all happened right in front of Will Sommer. He didn't notice any of it. He didn't notice me getting escorted out by the police or anything. He was talking to fucking Austin Steinbart, fucking the time-traveling QAnon fake cock guy who lives here, and he was there with his little cult. He was distracted by him, and I was like, man, I hope somebody sees me getting fucking thrown out by the police, especially this national reporter right here. Nope. And I got thrown out in the cold. I had to go all the way down because their campus is huge. I'm like at the end of a mountain, just like, I need a ride. So I can't go to see Trump probably, but because they hold it at Dream City Church, and they hold a lot of Arizona political events there, so they keep it secret and locked down in this fascist church. So that's a story. That's the Arizona story for the week. I'll update once the event happens. What's up?
Did you see Olia Scootercaster on Twitter? She had applied to be she's press and applied for press access to Trump's rally, and she had to give them where she was born. She's Ukrainian, and they replied with, you are not welcome, or you are not invited to our event, or something like that. So I think like they would probably also at this point, I think they're even trying to like get a line of defense before the fucking church guy now, like to have, like
what
a
rally
list
was
of
she trying
names.
to cover?
It was in Arizona. I think it might have been closer to her. Whatever. It was in the past like 3 weeks.
Man, they're really keeping these rallies kind of locked down this time.
They really are. So yeah, it's good you're not even going to try, I think, because I think that maybe they would be even more inclined to be on the lookout for the Antifa couple.
Listeners, if you want an Antifa couple with me, hit me up. Kidding. Mike, you want to come? You would be able to sneak in pretty good.
Oh God! I would use the power of my white manhood to just launch myself up to wherever I need to be.
You literally have to do nothing. You could just walk in as now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I look like the most typical MAGA chud imaginable. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
Like that is one thing that I've learned is from being in casinos most of my life is that casino clientele are basically old white guys who love Republicans. And when they see me, a white guy, they just think I'm in the club. So they will just like talk to me just as if it's totally cool to say horrible things and be aggressively Republican.
Man, put a mic between your tits. What you doing?
Yeah. This
you know how expensive a good wig is? I can't be out there anymore. I don't even know.
I know. I need a good one. Mine are cheap and crappy and look like I'm sneaking into places.
Exactly. I can't go. I don't think I could go anywhere. I mean, anywhere. I probably can't go to a lot of the same places that you can't go to because I don't think that Ryan Sanchez or Grayson Arnold or Base Kyle would be very happy to see me.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll never forget this. The two main moments that really showed me that like I'm in the white guy club and that means a certain thing was I was on break and I was walking one way and this guy was walking the other way. And the guy just held his phone up to me and was like, "Hey man, check out this craziness." And it was a photo of what appeared to be a black woman with a photo again, photoshopped penis. Just this is not Michelle Obama, but it was just a black woman.
Look at his dick.
It was just a black woman.
Man, there's something going on with the American psyche with black. Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? God, with the black dicks.
It was just a black woman with in a bikini, and she had 6-pack abs, and the bikini bottom had a bulge in it. And the guy just wanted me to look at it and be like, "Look at this like weirdly gendered thing that you should be offended or upset at in some way, shape, or form." And I just kind of like gave him a quick nod and then just walked past him. I'm like, how am I supposed to engage on this? Like, what is my reaction? Am I supposed to be racist? Am I supposed to be transphobic?
Yes,
like,
he wants to know if you're similarly threatened
It's
by
supposed
the
to be
idea.
like, I also like dick.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Dang, that does look good.
Oh God, oh God, I'll have this guy do the video. There's like this video of like this guy he's on a Mormon campus and he's talking to all these people about how everyone gets engaged really early and all this kind of stuff. And then the final,
I love this guy. I love this guy.
and the final question was, he was like just like the Book of Mormon or Black History Month, and this kid said Black History Month. I'm from Washington D.C. I love my chocolate queens, and it was just
Whole town boy.
yeah. It was just the most out of left field thing you'd hear at a Mormon campus. Just like, oh my God. So that happened. And then the other time, I'm dealing a poker tournament and we're on break. So everyone's walked away from the table. They're getting food. They're going to the bathroom. And I'm getting the decks prepared for the next round, which basically means shooting them down, making sure no cards are missing, no one fucked with anything, blah, blah, blah. And there are just two old guys just sitting at the table because they didn't get up. They're just going to hang out for the break and just talk to each other. And eventually the conversation between those two guys gets pretty racist. And the thing that I realized is as this conversation is going on is that like they just think I'm part of the furniture. And they also think that because I'm just a white guy that's just doing my job, that I am tolerant of this, that this is something that is okay by me. So I'm just like, just going to put my head down here because there's nothing I can do. They're not causing a problem. And if I try to yell at my manager hates Obama with the passion of 1,000 burning suns. So it's not like that guy's going to give a shit. So
He joins in on the conversation.
oh he would get in. Oh my
You guys
God.
want some free drinks?
Yeah. Oh God. It's just one of those things. I mean, it's just like one of these situations where it's just like can't win, put the cards down, live life. That's just the way it works. So I mean, that's just how you do. So like that's what I learned from like just being around these places is that they think you agree. They just like look at you and they're like, boom, he's on our team. He's a good guy. And it's like, I'm actually not. I'm actually like deep undercover for you people. And like
I actually tell all the things that you tell us to our podcast.
I actually tell my secret liberal friends about how terrible you people are behind your back. It's like really cool. Yeah. So yeah, it's great. So anyhow, enough of all this nonsense. Time to go to our tiny mailbag for the week.
Our listeners got questions, we got answers. It's time for Q&A.
Heuristic Velociraptor asks, for all of you, who would you cast your own frazzle trip with hand puppets? So if you don't know what frazzle trip is, it's allegedly the video of Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin brutally murdering his child and drinking.
I already have an answer for this because I have been Pee-wee pilled out of my mind lately. And I would like Wayne White to make the production of the Frazzle Drip puppet theater play, I'll say. He's the person that made the puppets for Pee-wee. And I think that would be a really interesting production of Frazzle Drip. So that's my answer.
I'm going to go Avenue Q on this because obviously it has a name. The name is perfect for those people. And I also think they would handle it with the proper level of satirical insult and ridicule, which is required. That's like the thing is, like, I don't know exactly what you want me to do. Do you want me to play Frazzle Drip straight here and just kind of be like, yeah, there's an actual video where someone's being brutally murdered and their energy blood is being consumed for power by the evil people? Or are we just like laughing at how dumb Frazzle Drip is? Because like, it's so bizarre that I can't go a week without someone telling me they've seen it. It's just, and it's like, it doesn't exist. It's not real.
You gotta be careful looking at those phones on the street, man. You gotta be.
I think I need to do this. I think I need to make a sort of Wayne White rendition of Frazzle Drip and some of the other Q conspiracies that people say definitely exist and I've definitely seen video of, because I think that could be, I'm sure that wouldn't get me baked to oblivion or anything, but I think it needs to be done for the sake of art.
For art.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the new Podesta art. You can be the new, that's like one of my favorite things is I see these people and they post like the art that upsets them. And then I go into the backstory of it, and like one of the people who did the art, it was about their own sexual abuse, and this is how they like are coming to terms with what happened to them, and the art is kind of like a therapy. And then I saw another weird like bit of art, and the art comes from a woman who has like dissociative personality disorder, and she has like 12 or 13 personalities, and all of the personalities paint art in different ways. So she has all this art from all of her different personalities, and one of the personalities paints art that's like really like traumatic and like about sexual abuse and stuff, and it's really, and they just like post that art with no context, no explanation, and they're just like, look at this sick shit these people love. And it's like, do you ever look into what you're talking about? Have you ever done 5 minutes of research? The movement that screams, do your own research. Have you ever actually done it? No, you haven't. You have no idea what you're talking about. And it's just,
I've seen libs of TikTok doing this with a woman who makes art about being a mother. So and it's like kind of just crude little sketches, you know? So it's like you can interpret it however you want. And they obviously interpret it in a way that's like, look at this pedo disgusting woman. And it's like, it's literally her drawing her as a mother with her child, you fucking sick fucks. Like, this is the thing that actually does get me that we don't talk about enough, is when Q, Anon, and fascists in general get into art interpretation, because they only see the most worst fucking obvious, this is all pedophilia, this is all pizza type shit. And it kind of drives me a little bit mad. Sorry.
Oh yeah, because they don't, there's never, art is not subjective to them. Art is objective, and it can only mean one thing, and it means that you're into human sex trafficking. That's it. And like the only reason why people make art is to declare themselves to be either pedophiles or child predators. And there's no other reason to make art. It's just literally, I made this photo of I took a photo of this small child on the beach in their swimwear because I'm a pederast. I was not trying to capture youthful innocence or a beautiful day at the beach,
or just my kid.
Or, you know, or just my kid, taking a photo of my kid. Nope, pederast. That's the only possible outcome, is pederast. And it's just they exist only on that plane, and it's just it's so aggravating. It's so ridiculous.
So if anybody wants to take hyper graphic QAnon conspiracies that don't exist and do a puppet interpretation, please reach out to me.
Haley wants to collab on that. She wants to make.
Yeah, it will not be subtle.
No. and then if Rudy's back on Cameo, we can have him promote it. We can have him like read the promos for it. It'll be great.
All the promos will be done by MAGA people.
Yes. People desperate for money on Cameo. It'd be so great.
And also Chet Hanks.
Yes, Chet's all over the place. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Chet. And finally, because we have a grand total of 2 whole questions in the mailbag this week, Cleodora Silvestri asks, this question is for poker. As a poker man, what is your stance on blackjack? And I'm willing to open the floor to you fine folks as well about blackjack.
Is that the one that you have to get to 21?
Yes, it is.
I've played it.
Yeah, you've played it. That's about it for you. You've played some blackjack, and that's about all.
I don't really know card games very well. I've played Hollywood Rummy, but I don't know if accurately.
I have no idea what Hollywood Rummy is. So
it's like a grandma game, I think. You play with grandmas.
Yep.
That's why I don't know it.
Yeah. Have you played any blackjack or any casino games, Amanda?
I would never.
You never? There's not in the gambling? I'm
not sitting at a table with a bunch of fucking strangers and performing for them like a fucking animal at the zoo. No, I'm not doing that.
Well,
if you're enjoying it, I'll sit next to you and get the free drinks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not performing for people when you're playing blackjack. When you're dealing blackjack, you kind of have to be a bit of an entertainer, but actually playing
that's different, but you're being paid.
You're being paid, yeah. But I'm just saying, when you're playing blackjack, all you're doing is just like other tapping the table or waving your hand. Like,
don't you have to have poker
other
face
people? Maybe in a private room.
What'd you say, Haley?
Don't you have to have a poker face though?
No, blackjack is totally just nonsense. Blackjack is just literally, there's nothing going on. You're playing it. The dealer's a robot that just does what the robot does. There's no strategy. There's no thinking. So my speech on blackjack, extending this podcast an additional hour. No. The thing about blackjack that's so funny is that blackjack is a solved game. Like, we've done the math. We know what you should do in every situation, every play, every time. And I see people making the wrong decisions so much. It's incredible. And the other thing I love seeing is people who stress on decisions in blackjack. Like, they got a 16 against a 10, and they just got their hands in their, they got their head in their hands, like, just, oh God, oh, what do I do? Oh, and it's like, you are in a bad position, but you have to take a hit. You just hit. That's all you do. And unless the house offers surrender, then you surrender. The math is the math. You just do what you have to do. And these people they're just like, oh God, I got a 17 against the queen. What do I do? Oh God. So you stay. You just stay. There's a chart. You just read it. The chart tells you what to do. You just do it. And that to me is the main reason. Like, if you play blackjack long enough, if you play any casino game long enough, the reason why you were playing it goes away, and now it just becomes a grind, which is what kind of is how you get into a gambling addiction, because your brain sort of rewires itself from the happy excitement of the game I'm doing to, now I'm just doing the game that I was doing so I can still feel. And I've actually seen people at blackjack tables, at all kinds of gaming tables, and they really don't achieve catharsis until they've lost all their money. Like, the losing is the point at that point. And it's like those people that I just like want to pull off the table and be like, buddy, you actually have a problem. You actually need to talk to people and not come back to this casino, because you
are you allowed to do that, or would you get fired?
I would be fired as an employee. We are not allowed to critique people's situations, but self-banning is a thing that people do. And if a person comes up to me and says, look, I would like to be banned from this casino, I can run them up the flagpole and get them banned from the casino. Wow. You can do that. Yeah, you can do that.
Do people do that for like they're trying to get better kind of reasons?
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, these people have acknowledged they have a gambling addiction, and usually when they do that, they will go to someone and then they will fill out paperwork, and the casino will put your photo on file. And if they see you on premises, they will remove you. So you cannot be there. And a self-ban usually lasts for a year. And then after a year, you are allowed to reassess if you want to remain banned from the property or not. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I can't do that. But if someone comes up to me and tells me that that's the path they want to take, I can get that ball rolling for them and get them kicked out of the place that they want to be kicked out of, because they know they have a problem and they know they need to stop. And like it's a good thing for them to do, really. So, and
It's very interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, casinos are obviously soulless capitalist enterprise.
Absolutely.
I do appreciate the fact that we do allow that like that is a thing that we will do. We're like, nope, we're just going to let you in here and keep letting you destroy yourself. Like, I mean, because that
force
would
them to commit a crime and actually get banned from the
right, yeah. We're going to fucking Richard Gase Nagel them. They're going to have to shoot up a bank to go to jail. They won't have to play poker anymore. Yeah. Why'd you shoot up the bank? I didn't want to go to Bellagio anymore. Had to do it. Oh God, yeah. So yeah, I'm so glad we could somehow turn that in on itself and make it a part of the Kennedy assassination. But the thing is that blackjack. The last thing I'll say about blackjack, it is like one of the fairest games in the casino. If you like download one of the little cards that tells you how to play the game, or you buy one of those cards from one of the gift cards in a casino, all casinos have these cards. The casino will let you put that card in front of you and read it while you're playing blackjack. We don't care. Because we're hoping that the free drinks and emotions will override shit and you'll start making mistakes anyways. But if you play blackjack perfectly, you're basically flipping a coin with the casino. The casino's edge on blackjack is very small. If everyone played blackjack perfectly, casinos wouldn't spread it. I mean, casinos just wouldn't spread it because they're not nearly making enough money off of the game. Like, the house edge on blackjack is like 0.4%. It's like so small. It's like ridiculous. But you see people staying on 16s against 20s. You see people taking even money instead of holding out for a blackjack when they got an ace. You just see people make mistake after mistake after mistake. And it's just all those bad decisions people are allowed to make is what makes blackjack profitable for the house. So, if you don't make bad decisions, you can very easily win at blackjack. I mean, I see it happen all the time. I see people lose lots of money at blackjack. I see people win a lot of money at blackjack because, for the most part, it is a fair game. Like, roulette has like a 4% house edge. It is so much more vicious than blackjack. And you play roulette long enough, you are absolutely going to go broke. It's super brutal. But and you play any other table games like Let It Ride or 3-Card Poker or Casino War or any of that dumb stuff. Oh, huge house edge across the board, all those games. Those games are literally just you handing your wallet to the casino and the casino saying thank you and then giving you a tap on the shoulder and sending you out the door. But yeah, if you're going to play one of those games, blackjack and craps are the two best. They're the fairest games in the house. So that's me. That's my world. And let me talk about it.
Your expertise. And,
yes, that's my expertise. That's the world I live in when I'm not living in right-wing QAnon loony world or Rob Reiner JFK loony world. So that brings us to our final question, which is always, what are you guys looking forward to? Haley never has a good answer for this question. Or seldom.
How dare you? How dare you? I had the whole 12 days of Christmas that I was excited about. You remember that?
I do. But that was your first good answer in like 3 months. Now we're back to this.
Back to this.
Yeah, where I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, she's gonna be like lunch. I'm gonna get me a hoagie. It's gonna be delicious.
Let's see. Well, today is Robert F. Kennedy's birthday. So we'll be celebrating that, right? The 17th. I've been continuing this 12 days of Christmas nonsense, even though it's no longer 12 days of Christmas, and just seeing what saints holidays extend out every day, because there are feasts for saints every single day. The Catholics and every sect has all these religious holidays, all these saints that they venerate every single day of the year. So I've been kind of looking into a lot of that, but when you look into that, you also see just generally like celebrities with birthdays this day. And I thought today, being January 17th, and it being Robert F. Kennedy's birthday, was kind of funny.
RFK Jr.'s birthday, you mean?
Yeah.
Junior. Yeah, not his dad who goes.
No, just Junior. Sorry.
Yep.
The one that's alive. Wait. Yes.
Is he?
Is he?
Who can say?
Right now he's alive. That I know of. No breaking news otherwise. Yeah.
Is that him?
So, Amanda, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Yeah, you see, this is sprung on you.
I'm going to Soul Cycle at 5:30. I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
really fun.
Yep.
It's a Meek Mill class.
Oh, hey, I'm in favor of I'm in favor of any kind of thing that would involve me being energized to be active, because I do need that.
How's swimming going?
Oh, good. It is going well. I haven't swum in a week because this cold has been just beating the piss.
Oh yeah,
out.
it's not good to swim.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to swimming tomorrow. Hopefully, having recovered from this cold now, finally, because it has just been aggravating as all get out. Beyond that, the sports ball we're racing towards the superb owl, as all us witty jokesters say on the internet about the Super Bowl. So this weekend's football games should be pretty exciting. There'll be a ton of fun to watch, and probably lose small sums of money on as well, because there's no way they can lose. Smash cut to them losing. No, impossible, but it happens. So yeah, football, swimming, and hopefully just not waking up with a stuffy nose and sore throat for the first time in a week. That would be just chef's kiss. I'm so looking forward to being healthy again. That'd be wonderful. And no, I am not some QAnon person in denial about my disease. I do not have COVID. I tested for it. So I just have a cold. Honest. So, because I'm the one who's talking now and Elle's not here, it's time for us to leave HellwQrld. We are going to walk gingerly down a slight incline while our very bloody, herpes-ridden hand touches a handrail and tries not to leave any more disease upon it. Shout out and thanks to everyone who's helped on the podcast. DJ Minimal Effort made our original version of our theme, which I accidentally remixed, and Amanda did not get to hear because the soundboard broke. You heard it in post-production. Spoilers, that's what happened. Beyond that, thanks to Frosty VO for our bumps and taking care of us.
Shout out Frosty.
Yeah, shout out Frosty. If you want to continue supporting the show, please give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening to it. If you want to give us money, go to patreon.com/pokerpolitics. For $5 or more, you can get access to all our delicious bonus content. And if not, you can give us $2. We'll give you a shout out. We'll tell you that you're awesome. If you want to give someone money, that's not us, because we're just idiots on the internet talking about stuff that's silly. Go to love146.org. They are an organization that is fighting human trafficking, and that is something that people should do, not just scream and yell about Tom Hanks being a pedophile on the internet. So, for another quote-unquote successful episode of the Adventures in HellwQrld podcast, I am Mike Rains, signing off for Haley and Amanda. Good speed, Patriots. Bam.